What's up, Duke fans? Welcome to the Devil's Den podcast. I'm your host, Josh Smith, joined by my co-host Raul and Shu. Figure we would come back and react a little bit to Countdown to Craziness. So the season's finally unfolding here, folks. We did a preview a little bit ago, so we did some kind of predictions, projections, what we kind of lineups we wanted to see. We'll kind of review and chop that up a little bit, fellas, kind of get into that here a bit. I guess, before we go into it, I think there's a few cool things to mention. Like, we did have a 3-point contest. Maybe we should talk a little bit, though, about like the functionality of that, or if we want to expand that a little bit. Personally, I was kind of hoping to see like a full, like, let's throw the racks out there, let's put Slim in there, at least 4 or 5 guys. But at least we're moving back to getting more basketball here, folks, a little bit. So that was a good thing. And then I guess before we chop it up, fellas, just off the top here, like, what did you make of the Tatum kind of announcement? Some of the like not too clear announcement, I guess, if you will, here. But let's just start with that, because that kind of shook me a bit in terms of like he's going to be helping us out this year. Fellas, what are y'all making of that?
I mean, for me, I guess it was, he's helping us out right now with recruiting. He's got 2 5-star recruits sitting directly behind him with John whispering to him the whole time. So, I mean, and you guys watch more NBA. I mean, even if you're out for the season, you're still traveling with the team, correct? Like, you can't just be
typically,
out with us for the entire season. So I'm not real sure exactly what to make of helping us out was. Maybe, what do you think, Raul?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I feel like we do see, former Duke players come back to Duke to rehab when they have an injury. So that's not uncommon. Just over the years, we've seen a lot of that. And obviously, Tatum and Scheyer are very close. So that part's not surprising. But I just don't know about I don't want to call it legality, but that's too strong a word. But like the technicalities of it, like, we can't really like hire him on the staff. So what are we even calling him? And yeah, what does helping out mean? It seems like he's just kind of a team assistant, I guess. But yeah, like to Shu's point, how does that even work? Like, is Boston okay with him just like not being there for 10 months or whatever, however long it takes him to, get his ACL or Achilles, I should say, in check, I mean, he's doing really well on his rehab, and it's like way ahead of schedule. And so we'll see how long this even lasts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be cool either way. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking immediately when I heard that, I was like, oh, yes, get him and Dummy in the lab. Like right now, like, let's get this thing going. Let's accelerate the timeline a little bit. Obviously, him and Coach are really close, really good friends. I know Jefferson also traveled down too. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see like what that means. I'm with you, man. Cam Williams is sitting right there behind him. So, right away, that's a big pitch right there. But all right, let's jump into it, guys, here a little bit. So I don't know how much y'all want to talk about the whole kind of like theatrical pep rally experience that Countdown is, or if we want to really just kind of jump into the basketball stuff. I'm fine just kind of jumping into the 3-point contest, unless there's something, just a takeaway that you might have about anything else. But
no, I mean, just off the top of the cat, I think they had a competition the day before to see the 2 finalists. And, are you guys surprised by it being Caleb and Darin? I think obviously Darin is a great shooter. Evans would have been my guess, but maybe just had a rough stretch of it. Hey, and look, Caleb's shot looked good. It looks real compact and crisp. And yeah, I mean, I thought he did a great job, but obviously Darin kind of just torched the nets there.
Yeah.
17 in a row, I think, to end it for Darin. Yeah.
22 of 25 overall, I think.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I mean, Caleb shot well enough to win, right? He went 18 of 25. In a lot of contests, that would get you the win. But if another guy's going to go 22 of 25, I wasn't surprised that Darin was in the finals there. Caleb, maybe a little bit, but at the same time, there's a difference between like wide open catch and shoots in that situation and like what Evans does, right?
Right.
So like some guys' shot form or just like the way they like to get their shots is more suited to, coming off movement or whatever. So it kind of made a little bit of sense. And I thought Caleb's shot looked way improved. It didn't look like that weird long floater that he would sometimes do in the past. So that's encouraging. And I guess we can talk about Chris Carrawell too, jumping in there.
Yeah, we got to hit Sue. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that Darin was in it by any means. Caleb, I mean, a little bit, but not too much. I mean, I could have seen someone like Kamia maybe sneak in there and show out a little bit. But to me, that's why I would have liked to maybe see a little bit more of what they did the day before instead of a top 2. Maybe just make it like a 3 or 4 man thing. I mean, you put Sewell in there, which that's cool. Maybe next year we'll see some more like alumni kind of come back and get involved in that kind of thing. It'd be cool to see Grayson Allen or Kennard or John, anybody to just come in and be a part of that, to
get Tatum out there shooting.
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
He's not going to hurt himself doing that.
Bring Seth back, just bring some dudes and just make it fun, make it cool. But to me,
it would have been nice if they at least released video of the lead up. Would have been cool just to see like how it played out. But yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah, look, hey, Sewell, props on his corner shots. He still got his corners. The wing, the straightaway was rough for him.
That was he went 0 of 5 on pretty straight from the top. That's not a spot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I'd like for them to get back to stuff like that. I mean, maybe I'm being an old head here, but when we started going, like I remember, like what was it, Nolan Smith wearing the Johnny Dawkins jersey during the dunk contest. You had like Gerald Henderson and maybe a few other guys that were like kind of scoring it. I think Grayson Allen or somebody maybe break out the Jay Will jersey one time or something. Like you had cool stuff, man.
I think Ninth was a dunk contest judge one time. So
I think so too. Yeah. That's cool. I like that they're bringing more of that back in.
What about like a skills challenge? Like, kind of the point guard, make a pass, run through the barrels, all that stuff, make a shot from the top of the key.
Do something, just to kind of, I mean, the dunk contest, 3-point contest to me seems the easiest addition, but,
I wonder why they did stop with the dunk contest. I think the last one was the Grayson Allen one, probably, which would have been like 2015, or maybe it was not his freshman year. Maybe it was like sophomore year or something, but it's a long time.
Imagine having RJ and Zion and not deciding not to have a dunk contest.
Yeah, exactly. What the hell?
What are we doing, man? Like, come on.
Zion's like, pulling off spectacular dunks and warm-ups before every game. It's like, why not just have the,
And
he would have won, but
imagine the hype level last year if like Khan wins a dunk contest. Just at CTC before everything gets going, Khan just wins a dunk contest. Like that'd be cool. Like stuff that'd be fun. But either way,
I probably would have gone with Cooper on that one. I'm thinking.
Well, yeah, me too. But if Khan doesn't happen to get one, they'd be like, all right, cool. I think the coolest thing for me, though, fellas, is the Elam ending. And I know there's some kind of stuff back and forth on that. I think this is like the perfect place for it. I know the NBA does it in their All-Star game, and so I love that. Let's just start though for y'all. Like, what did you make of that? Do you like going to that? Would you rather just play it out in some kind of just a 12-minute thing, or no preference? Or
I kind of enjoyed it because, I mean, you think about it, the blue team was up. I don't think they were up a lot, but they won by 10. But just say you're up by 10 with 2 minutes left in the game. They're going to be playing a little bit of milking the clock, so I guess there's more entertainment value in it when you do the Elam ending. That way you just add the target score. You got to keep scoring. You can't just hold the ball and run the clock out, right?
Right. Yeah. You got to hit that like final, whatever it is, right? Like
8 points. I think it's 8 points from
9 to it. And so, I like that. Raul, what about you? I know you like the NBA stuff. You like it here, or?
Yeah, totally. I think it just, to Shu's point, it gives the other team like an actual chance to catch up. So in theory, it could create more tension because, like, let's say you're down 10 with a minute left, you're probably not coming back, especially in a game you don't care about. But in this situation, if you can just keep getting stops, you can win it because you're not limited by the clock.
Yeah.
So that's the aspect I like of it.
Yeah,
but it didn't end up being that dramatic ultimately. In this case, but you did get to see a technical like game winner, so that was cool.
Right. Yeah, and it happened to be Seabass too, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So a little bit of stuff to hop into it here. I guess before we get into the actual basketball stuff, we'll start with kind of some of the intros again. I thought there were some cool ones. I don't know if there was any like just this is going to stand out for the next 5 or 10 years, but I thought there were some cool ones. Shu, I will toss it to you first here. Kind of give me your rundown, top 2, top 3, or like what stood out to you. What'd you like?
Well, I was curious what Herminia would do, and
me too.
Give him a shout. He played Tupac, California Love. So
Killed the cameraman on the way over. Was hyped.
Yeah, took a camera. I think he put those sunglasses on. It's probably so dark in there. He just like literally didn't see this guy. He's got a bright orange vest on. But I like that out of him. Obviously, Patrick Ngongba coming out to the Khaled, pulling out the DDMF shirt. Yeah. I think Grayson. So there's been guys, we do what's the other song? The every time we touch.
Cascada or whatever.
I'm kind of wishing they would start getting away from that. I like the Khaled. The all we do is win. Cam Boozer. What'd you guys think about the Apache? What did you? I just didn't see that coming. That was.
Yeah, I mean, his was Dame's. I didn't see that really coming out. Dame. I think Caden though, the other Boozer, probably surprised me the most. Okay, right? The 2-song intro. Have we had a 2-song intro?
I don't think we've had a 2-song intro. Yeah.
Interesting. Mouthing the words a little bit too. That was
for it to be it, but that was cool.
What was your favorite? So I guess my favorite hype song though. Evans played the best hype song. He played the Mo Bamba track.
Yeah, I liked C Foss came out to oh my god.
His is the only one I didn't pick that up. What his
I'd have to go back and listen to it. I remember when I was watching it live though, and I was like, oh, I like that. Evan Slim was good. Even though they always announce him from Fayetteville, I still kind of rein him back to Charlotte a little bit because he shot Slim Pickens. I mean, for me, my best though is probably Pat.
Yeah,
it's probably that, man. With Nick being like right there. The California love, dude. That was cool. That was cool.
Yeah, Nick's was probably my favorite. I will say with Cam and Caden, there was more personality and effort in it than I expected. So that was kind of cool. Like I didn't expect them to dance at all. Like we were joking. I expected them to just come out and give a little wave, So that was pretty cool. I thought the reception Foster got was cool too. Like you could tell. Like him and Evans, I thought got the biggest cheers. And I think there is just something like with a crowd being able to connect to a guy who's coming back for his third year, even if he wasn't like a huge contributor in his second year. I think everybody's kind of feeling the same way, just like rooting for this guy,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I will say for me, when Malik came out, I was watching for a little bit and I was like, raise the other arm, bro. Raise both. I need to see the other one come up, and he did. But I was like, oh man, come on! I need to see both of those. I need to see both shoulders being able to rotate and get them cuffs in. He looked fine too. He looked good. So, outside of that, I guess. I mean, anything else from intro stuff, or should we just hop into the game here? I mean, again, I guess we'll give a little shot to see what here, but let's start with the blue team. So Foster, Evans, Wilkins, Haminia, Ngongba, and Scott on the blue. Again, Malik's out here, so he probably would have factored into this somewhere. The white team, you got both Boozers, Dame, Harris, Sheffield, and I'm just going to say iffy. So I guess coming in, man, I think the line was something like White was favored by pretty heavily here. Fellas, when I looked at this, like I was leaning blue kind of the whole way. Like where were y'all at coming in just when you're looking at the teams here?
For me, I just wasn't going to go again against the Boozers.
Yeah, you can't go against the Boozers, but the town. I think if you put Malik,
there's more offensive firepower with the blue. That's what I.
I mean, you're starting
Foster, Evans, and Pat. Yeah,
you have 5 playable guys over there.
Yeah, I kind of was leaning towards White because I was just thinking, okay, in theory, they've got the best point guard and they've got the best player in Cam, and then you got in theory the best defender in Sar. So I was just thinking those 3 guys might be enough to get it done. But yeah, I mean, on the other hand, they did have, 2 deep bench guys on their team too. So
yeah, I mean, I'm with you too. I mean, when I first looked at it, it's like, Boozers. And then I started looking, I was like, oh, well, wait a minute. The blue has the 5 guys that are actually going to play. Like, that's a pretty big deficit. No shouts to Sheffield and Iffy here, but I mean, you have 5 guys that are going to crack probably your top 8 or 9 over there on one side. And then, versus the other.
I would say Iffy doesn't look horrible. He's not like, he doesn't look like a deep bench guy, really. Like when he has pretty good hands and he just seems competent out there. So again, I don't expect him to play much this year. And by the way, I think it's Ufachukwu, I believe is his last name. I kind of learned that from the intros, but yeah.
Okay.
So I've been trying to master that, but if he might be the safer.
I will say, though, that I was thinking, man, if Malik was out there, though, I was like, a lot of these passes and some of the stuff the blue team's doing, you're not doing that. You're not doing that with Malik out there, man. Because Dame was already like causing some issues, like crash it, like, you know, in the passing lanes and stuff. So either way, all right, we'll jump into it. So the blue team wins, spoiler, 34-24. So now that we've seen the guys a little bit here, fellas, who stood out to you the most, or is there anything that just immediately we got to highlight?
I mean, the standout to me was Darin, I think. Knocked down the first shot, kind of a contested little pull up from the elbow. The next three got in. I think Raul's been mentioning, like, just he catches it, doesn't bring it down, just gets it straight up. Yeah. Did miss one of them, knocked down all three of his free throws too, though.
Yeah, he got fouled on that three. So yeah, I think he's like this essentially the second leading scorer. I mean, he was tied with Cam for 8 points, but yeah, he was definitely really impressive. That's definitely of the guys on the white team, he stood out to me the most, I thought.
And I think most of us kind of picked him or wanted to like say that, like, you know, this is a guy that could be ready. Yeah, I don't know if it's like one player for me. I think the biggest takeaway, y'all, is just the pace of the play, like immediately, like out of the gate, like the first 3 possessions are just awesome basketball. I think it starts like right out of the gate. You get the Darin on the side, just does his little kind of drive in, dribble, pull up, hits the 2, comes right back down on the other end. Foster just flies down the lane and does that like wraparound kick to Seabass, and then they come right back down, and Cam just does this little collapse the defense, kick to Darin, and you hit a 3, and it's like, dude, we're rolling.
Yeah,
like
I think we hit our first like 7 threes.
Yeah, it was like 7 to 6, like 50 seconds in. I was like, all right, let's go.
I know by the first TV timeout I had counted, we took 10 threes and we had made 8.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that sounds right. Yeah, I think, you know, over the last 3 years, we've seen the offense take time. So for that to just be so prominent, you know, I think you have to kind of put a combination of things here, but you put Jon evolving more. But I also think, and you bring Evan Brads in and you're preaching this pace and space. That's the most space that I think we've had in the last couple of years, like on both ends, like everything's operating 5 out. That's just really impressive to me at this stage of the season to already kind of have maybe a little bit of an identity on that end. I don't know. What are y'all thinking about that?
I mean, last year's team generated the most open threes of anybody in the country, right?
Yep.
Took a
while, but you know, I think that's what hopefully this team's going to be traded towards doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that last year's team basically set the KenPom record for offensive efficiency, and this team almost already looks more modern to me. You know, what was kind of being run out there just looked like NBA offense, right? And I just think that that's kind of been Jon's biggest evolution when you think about how rough the offense was that first year. Now, again, some of that's if you just don't have the spacing, you can't do it, right? But yeah, even the second year when we thought the floor was really going to open up, it didn't quite materialize, but the offense did jump from like 30-something to 8th. And then last year it's first by a wide margin. So it all seems to be trending in the right direction. One thing that just jumped out to me was that it seems like everybody who's in the main rotation is going to shoot, right? Like we've seen
Pat.
Yeah, exactly. Like every practice or, you know, any footage that DBP has put out has like had Pat doing one of those pick and pops. So it just seems like it's a real thing, right? It seems like a very set, deliberate play. We know Cam can take and make threes. When you look at his high school percentages, those are great. And he'll get up like a reasonable volume too. This isn't like Wendell Carter or Marvin Bagley where he's taking like 1 a game.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't expect Pat to take 4 a game, but it just does seem like there's going to be a real emphasis on, you know, and Malik was shooting a little bit more from 3 towards the end of last year as well. So you would hope that would continue. So we could really legitimately see a 5-out offense, you know, versus this kind of theoretical 5-out offense we've had in the past.
Yeah. And you can see it maintained across 40 minutes, which is probably maybe more important, right? The ability to like play how you want to play, regardless of kind of personnel that's on the floor. Yeah, man, I think that, and it's not it's not just the space though. It's just the stuff that we were already like starting to run. Like we ran that a few times where kind of we run like Dame on that left wing and you see Cam like kind of shed way up high and they're almost force feeding this ball like over the top. And you're kind of like, well, why are you doing that? But on the other side, you're having so much action where as soon as Cam caught it, I think Darin curled right off. He kicks to him and it's just, you're just into what you're doing. I love that. I love that, man. I thought everything we did looked pretty good on the offensive side. I mean, you hit 12 threes in a 12-minute scrimmage, 8 different guys make a 3. The game ends on a 3. Now, you can't get too crazy with it, but for me, it's not really so much the volume of threes. It goes back to what you're talking about, Raul, kind of last year. It's the volume of open threes that you can generate. Like, that's the key right there to me. It's not just like, oh, we're shooting 48 threes, but if 40 of them are like wide open catch and shoot, and if like 27 of those are corner, like that's good shots. Yep. Like those are just great shots.
And you're going to hear people complain when we don't make them, right? But it's like for me, it's like, dude, if it's an open 3, that's the best shot you're going to get. Besides an open layup, obviously.
Right. And we didn't get many open layups in this game. I don't know if you know.
Well, we bobbled a few opportunities. I'll talk about that in a second. But
yeah, I mean, I thought. You know, some people were saying that like the defense wasn't good, but I didn't agree. Like
I thought the defense was pretty solid. Like people were in passing lanes. Pat's got some sneaky length around the rim. I think
he does.
He affected a handful of them. Even Evans got a nice block. So
and there were some nice steals in the lane, like anticipation stuff. Like I think
Wilkins was all over a couple of them.
Yeah. I don't know that Foster got credited with any steals, but he ended up coming up with like a few balls in the lane that might have been more Wilkins doing. But Sar, I think, came away with 2 steals as well. So
I had several like hands on. Like I don't know if all of them. I think some of them they were kind of retained possession, but like several times.
And that's without Malik out there, right? So to your point.
Yes, that's without Malik out there. And that's without kind of Pat also on his back too, right? Like when you have all of these guys together, like this looks different. Like it's gonna look different. But I think the encouragement is there already. Like, you know, Raul, we were talking offline here. This is the fastest I've seen Caleb Foster push the ball since he's been at Duke.
Yeah.
Like he was moving, man.
Yeah, I really wanted to highlight him. I thought he was a huge reason the blue team won and won comfortably. Now, again, you look at, he goes 1 of 4 from the field, but he's game high 4 assists in just 12 minutes. 4 rebounds, a block. I just thought specifically that he just did an excellent job of like really looking like a point guard, like pushing the pace, getting us into stuff, in a controlled but fast manner and making the right decisions. You know, he had a couple little moments. Again, you were going to mention that like dropped perfect pass from Pat.
That's really the only thing, man, for me. And I don't know.
If Pat zipped that one.
He
wasn't ready, but
sitting there, and it's just like him and nothing. Like, and it just hits his hands the only way it could have lost the ball. That was brutal.
My only critique of Foster, it didn't result in a turnover, but we've seen him do it in the past. I feel like he just kind of has like a little, not a sense of urgency when he makes a pass. Sometimes it should be an easy pass, but then he lets it go, and holy crap, the defenders watch it like I'm telegraphing. I think Sar got his hands on one that he was trying to pass over to Evans, and they retained possession, but it was just like you got to be a little bit more crisp about
react a little bit more. Yeah.
There was one time he drove into the lane too and kind of bobbled it and then recovered it, and that easily could have been a turnover.
Yeah.
It ended up resulting in a blue team score, just like, but it was one of those things of like, because we have seen him in the past get a little too deep without a plan, right? So, but I just thought in general, just he seems to have gotten the message of, and again, maybe it is Brad's influence, or maybe it's just something else, just being older, right? Gotten the message of, no, don't walk the ball up the floor. Like, be aggressive, be assertive. Like, that's what we need from you.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite probably moment from him, outside of that first possession that he had, was, I think it was like 20-15. He gets the ball, he's coming up, and he is just dogging it down, man. but he like makes this read to Herminia, like on the right wing coming down and hits him right in stride. Herminia pump fakes, hits the closeout and goes in and gets the layup. Thought he probably could have got an and one right there, like through some contact. But making that read, right? And like not making it slow, but like making that and like full sprint down the floor, like that's a point guard read to me, or at least a like a ball ready player read, whatever you want to call it, like someone that can be that for you. Whereas I don't think that I saw much of that from Caden, really. Like I didn't see where he was actually like doing a whole lot of like orchestrating pick and roll. And maybe that's just where we're at right now. But I didn't see anything where I thought that like, oh yeah, we can't run this with Caleb. Basically, if anything, I feel much better about like, oh, okay, maybe we actually can. Did that change for y'all? Again, fellas, this is 12 minutes. We're not going to make too much out of it, but if anything, I feel much more confident in Caleb as PG1. I don't know where y'all at with that.
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah, right now for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't come away discouraged about Caden. I came away encouraged about Caleb. So I think that's a good thing, right? Like, I didn't feel like Caden played badly. I just kind of wanted to see a little bit more from him. I felt like he, would bring the ball down the floor and then he would just kind of give it to Cam to initiate the offense. And that's fine. But if you're not like an amazing shooter, which he's not at this point, then that doesn't leave you a lot to do. And it could have just been like, maybe he's just not comfortable with that set of teammates, or who knows? Or maybe just like Cam and Caden both seem like the kind of guys who just don't care about looking impressive in an event like this, right? So that might be it too. Like he might look completely different. It's like the Tyus Jones thing, right? Where Tyus, when we would play like, whatever, Fresno State, he would look completely disengaged and terrible. Then when we played Michigan State, he dropped 21 points and hit all these pull-up threes.
Yeah, that's true. And so there's probably something to that, right? There probably is something to that. Do you want to talk about kind of anyone else in particular? I mean, I think we could talk about Cam a little bit, but I don't know. You kind of hit on it, like that he wasn't really trying to take over. I think for me, I was most impressed with just his ability to operate from the perimeter, to be able to kind of get downhill. Some of those big on big pick and rolls are going to be kind of fun, like him and Pat kind of like up there together. Like, you could see some cool stuff, man. You could see some cool stuff. Outside of that, I don't know if there's any like huge kind of like this guy just stole the show though. Like
I was impressed with some stuff Pat did. I think one of his little baseline.
He got some Julio before comps for that.
He finished it backwards, so made his free throw as well. So good job on that. We didn't shoot. I think we shot 6 of 10. Small sample size.
Small sample, not too, but I hear that.
You make one more and nobody's worried about it, right? So it's like
true. Yeah, I mean, he just doesn't go over, and you're probably
exactly
there, right.
Which I don't. I wouldn't expect that's going to be a problem for him. Like, you think with Aminia's kind of shooting reputation, I would just expect he'll be, at least 75%, right? It just he's up there on the line his first time in Cameron, maybe a little nerves or something. I thought he played really well though. Overall, I came away encouraged by him. But Pat looked fantastic. My optimism feels warranted. I mean, that 3-point stroke looks like legitimate, like I said earlier, and then all that other stuff is just still there. The touch, the kind of defensive instincts around the rim. Like, again, maybe you don't want him guarding out 30 feet, from the basket, but if you put him near the rim and allow him to drop, he's like a really good defender. And then obviously all the other stuff, just the footwork, the touch. So I remain excited about him. But again, to your point, like the high scorer in this game is 9 points, right? So it's not like you can't. If anything, that's a good thing. It was super balanced.
It was pretty spread. Yeah. I mean, 9 for Evans and 1, 2, 3 guys with 8 between the two teams. Wilkins had 6. I mean, pretty balanced through both rosters.
I mean, go ahead.
I was just gonna say everybody scored, right? I think,
except for Sheffield and Scott didn't.
Okay,
but all the guys that you would hope to be seeing scored, right? And so again, no Malik here. But I think for me, it's if the 3 is any sustainable. It unlocks that passing from him so much. That's why we need him to be able to pick and pop. For me, it's not so much that I need him to be able to like shoot and make a bunch of threes. It's I also need to be able to unlock that like high post perimeter passing. But if you're not going to get any attention out there, that makes it hard, right? Like we saw that even with Malik a little bit, and then towards kind of as we got going, he started shooting at least some of those threes, or at least looking to. But you got to keep him honest. So
yeah, why wouldn't if Malik's out there at the top or Pat's out there at the top looking for the backdoor cut, the defender's just going to sag 15
There's not
feet
gonna be
off
one. Yeah, I got a safety play in here now, and so yeah. So yeah, if that's there, that's huge. I think if I was going to say that I was like maybe who I gravitated towards the most probably was just Nick. And that's just because he's competing at CTC like a psychopath a little bit. Like he's full on sweat, man. He's running the floor hard as hell. At the end of the game, he is fired up, dude. Like maybe the only one that's like really fired up. Like he's pumped. Like he wanted to win. Yeah. And it's like for me, it's like, all right, I see that, and I'm like, yeah, I'll play with this guy, like this dude, this whole track, like this. Let's go. I thought he ran the lane like really well. I thought sometimes he ran it maybe a little too hard because it's like, man, you could have probably got a bunny pass there, but you almost like ran down, and Evans had to kind of like step back and be like, all right, dude, you're in the way. Here it is. Buried the three on you, but at the same time, you can't shoot that three if he don't pull that defender down there too. Yeah. So, I just thought he played hard as hell, man. So shouts to Nick.
And he'll have to learn to fan out to the wing a little bit too. Like you don't always just want to cut down the middle because then you can clog the lane, right? Like he can shoot. So in theory, he should, in transition fan a little bit too. But yeah, I thought he looked great. I guess Wilkins was, he had a nice smile on his face at the end, but he wasn't like pumped to the extent that Amenia was. It was just like,
Amenia was,
he had a little grin, but Wilkins, Nick was more excited for him than he was.
Yeah, because he went straight up to Caleb too, I think, after that. So to me, I bet there might have been, I'm sure there is, right? There probably was a little bit before that, like, let's handle this, bro.
Yeah, we'll chatter.
Yeah, let's get these. Let's get this.
And I'm sure Caleb and Caden have a healthy competition, right? At least you would hope it would be healthy, right?
Sure.
Like they're fighting for the same minutes essentially. So
yeah, Darin and Slim too, right? Like that part was really good in terms of how they split the teams up. I guess I was hoping, or not hoping. I thought I would have seen a little more boozer stuff going on there. Didn't see a ton of that, but I mean, that's, I don't think that's a big deal or anything, but
no. And I thought Cam was like really quietly productive, like in the sense that I was surprised that he had 8 points at the end because I was like, I didn't see him do anything. It's like, oh no, he has 8 points. And I think we're going to see that a lot this year of like, more than 8, obviously, because it'd be a full game, but like there could be games where we're like, damn, Cam had 18 and 12 and I didn't notice.
Right. You're sitting there thinking like, yeah, he probably didn't score. Yeah, didn't even get a double or didn't even get, double figures. And it's like, oh, he's got 20-10. And that's just going to be it. He had that nice drive, that high off glass.
Lefty too.
He made, dude, just
made a three. Yeah.
Butter. I mean, it didn't touch nothing.
I believe in his 3-point stroke. It looks very smooth and legitimate too.
Yeah.
Unlike his brothers, but.
Yeah, Cadence was. I mean, he made the one that he took, but it was a little like off balance and kind of jumped into it a little bit. Hey, if you're gonna make it, do it.
I think he's gonna need time. I think Caden's shot is not gonna be quick. He's gonna need to be open.
Yeah.
Versus I don't see him like pulling up off the dribble.
Not yet. I guess, fellas, we probably should at least touch on it here. How do you feel about Dame's offense? Does that concern you, or kind of like where do you think that gets maximized?
I mean, I think when we put the five, the guys that'll be on the floor with them, hopefully we're going to be able to help him out by getting into transition and getting some stuff where he's not going against a set defense. Because I think the 1 or 2 drives that he tried to make in the half court, like, kind of threw up like a little wild shot. I know he hit that scoop coming through the lane, but
the other one he tried to take and go like righty, like up and around or something. It's like, man, that's a hard move, man. That's a tough move. I know you got the wingspan, but not easy.
I think Pat still got a piece of it too.
Yeah, I think he did.
So hopefully when you factor in Cam, possibly even Malik out there on the floor, where we're causing chaos, get a turnover, rip it off the rim real quick, get out and start going in transition, because I think he will be pretty elite in transition.
Yeah. Especially if he can get like a head of steam going, right? And if the spacing stays there for him. In the half court, though, Raul, concern?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to kind of narrow and simplify his offense a little bit, and just get him like cutting and shooting corner threes or something, because it is a little hard for me to see how his offense is going to function as of now. To your point about the drives, like there's like this herky jerkiness, kind of like RJ Barrett, except RJ was strong, right? And RJ like finished with force. So he could kind of be herky jerky and still be effective in the lane, versus like Dame, I just feel like his limbs are kind of all over the place and he just gets bumped off his spot and throws up something wild. So
yeah,
we'll see how that goes. That's obviously going to be less of a problem in transition because you're not going against a set defense. You would hope his 3-point shot comes around. I'm not going to like overreact to him taking one or two and missing, like whatever.
Yeah.
One. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So who cares about that? The thing is, I think he's going to do a lot of good things in terms of defense. I feel pretty comfortable about that, but you can't have him just being like an offensive zero out there, right? Because then that just screws up your whole 5-out principle. You need everybody to be able to do something offensively, even if it is like he's kind of like just like almost like a
Mark Mitchell situation.
Yeah. Kind of like I was going to say like a Sion James kind of role of like where it handles a little bit, cuts, takes corner threes, and is not ever going to put up 20 points, right? Like if we can get him to do those kind of simple things, then I think it'll work. But yeah, right now it's like he definitely feels a little bit offensively behind some of the other guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's, I'd like to see just to simplify, but also junk it up a little bit. Like get on the baseline, get in the dunker spot a little bit, fix it up, use that athleticism. I think to me, he's the like only real clear lob threat. So I'd like to see some of that kind of like backside action going on, especially if you're going to have Cam and Pat with the ability to hit him on some of those. We didn't see a ton of that this time. But again, I think if you put him with Pat, you might see a little bit more of that. Cam's a good passer. I think Pat and Malik, though, are special in terms of just that ability to hit those cutters, man. Like that, they just have that.
I didn't even think about that when I mentioned Sion, but when you think about how often Pat or Malik would hit Sion cutting back door there, that should be a play that would work with Dame, right? Like, same principle.
And we love to do, I think that's how Foss got his, that he bobbled. Evans got a couple, but like where we kind of set those little like screens, but it's just decoy and the screener just dips right down. That's going to be there. That's going to be there for Dame too, man. But yeah, I'd junk it up a little bit, simplify it a little bit. I think the biggest thing is like, can you hit a corner three? Can you attack a closeout? We've seen him be able to do that in Barcelona, so it would appear to track over, but college is wonky too a little bit. We've seen that.
And hey, if he can't do those things, then he's not going to be one and done. So maybe that'll be good for Duke in the long run.
That's I mean, there's a lot of hot takes out there about, like Darin Harris fits what we're doing, man. And he fit like he looked almost Knippel light out there to me last year when I was watching him, how he moved, deliberate. It wasn't fast, but it was effective. It was effective. He was getting to his spots. Raul, you mentioned the no dip three, like that. That's a tough shot to make, man.
And I don't know if you noticed, but like during the 3-point contest, there was almost no dip on any of his threes in that either. Like just straight up catching it, like in motion, not bringing it down. That's hard to do, man.
Yep. Yeah. And if he's got the midi with it, man. If he's got that with it. He did get a little too deep in the lane that one time, and I thought, he didn't know where to go, and he kind of turned it over a little bit. I don't think we're going to ask him to do a ton of that, but if he can start to occupy like that Seth Curry type of role. They look so similar to me in that, like the way Seth used to be able to hit the pump fake, 2-step pull up. We need it. We could use it, man, because as much spacing as you can put out there to maintain keeping those shooters.
The nice thing is he's got like 2 inches on Seth and like a much bigger frame too.
Yeah.
So in theory, you would expect him to be a better defender. I mean, he's a little slow, but the strength is there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, fellas, we went 40 minutes on a 12-minute scrimmage.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to it's a Zapruder here before tapping out?
No, man, I just want to get Evan Brads on the podcast and talk to him about the offense. That's all.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, again, shout out to JT. I guess we should mention very briefly that we kind of talked about it, but Cameron Williams and Jordan Smith Jr. were in attendance last night, so things seem to be trending very well in that regard for Duke. So hoping for some good news here pretty soon on that end.
If I had to guess if I had to guess who we hear from first in terms of like if there's going to be a commitment, it'd be Jordan Smith, right? Because we've been recruiting him forever, and I think that's coming soon. That's my guess.
I would not be surprised if both of those guys aren't Blue Devils. So we'll see what continues to happen with that class. I know there's a lot of kind of moving parts, and I don't know how big that one's going to look. But when we get a little bit closer, I'm sure we'll get John and some guys on, and we'll talk about that. More of a recruiting analysis on that end, but. Fellas, the season's, I guess, officially here, so we can kind of celebrate that. We'll gear up. I know coming up, we'll have Brendan Marks on from The Athletic, so we'll talk to him a little bit, get more into a bigger overall kind of season preview from the national side of things, and kind of get ready to tap in here. So, again, we appreciate you all. If you haven't yet, I highly recommend going back over the summer. We had a lot of good guests on. I had Jeff Goodman, Jon Scheyer himself, Jamie Lucky, Brian Geisinger, John Watson from the Devil's Den with us. So lots of content. If you want to look into any recruiting stuff or just any kind of preview hype, get ready for the season. We did our player previews as well. And again, we'll come back. We'll get ready to get this thing going. We got Texas on the horizon, got Tennessee coming up as well. So y'all ready? It's getting good, fellas. Get good. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Let's go. Let's get this done. Also, shout outs to Duke football, right quick too. Right, they're rolling a little bit here, but we appreciate you all as always. Rate, review, subscribe. You can email us TheDevilsDen.com@gmail.com. You can find us on X/Twitter @DevilsDenPod247, and